Due to more cultural awareness shaping society, things that would have previously been swept under the rug and forgotten are now coming to light more than ever. And this, of course, translates into sports as well. In this video, I'm going to go over a few different instances in which NHL players were banned from their respective teams due to controversy. And with that, here are 3 times that an NHL player was banned, or should I say cancelled. Hailing from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Brendan Leipsic took the Western Hockey League route to the NHL while playing for the Portland Winterhawks. Even though he wasn't the flashiest player, the forward showed much promise early on with his remarkable shot accuracy. Drafted 89th overall by the Nashville Predators in 2012, Leipsic went into the 2012-13 season with the anticipation of scoring a deal with the club later on. And after putting up an impressive 120 points with the Winterhawks, the Predators decided to ink their recent draftee to an entry deal. But unfortunately, the forward never made his debut with Nashville. Instead, Leipsic found himself shipped up north to Toronto upon a multiplayer deal. But after only playing in 6 games with the Leafs and spending most of his time with the Marlies, he instead was met with another change of scenery. And after representing a couple more Western teams following Vegas, Leipsic, as a free agent, signed a 1-year, $700,000 contract with the Washington Capitals. Leipsic, although, wouldn't get the opportunity to endure the bubble experience in Toronto with the team. Instead, the forward became the subject of much controversy last May, as multiple derogatory and offensive comments made by Leipsic on social media were leaked to the public. While the majority of his less than savory words were seemingly directed at women, Leipsic could also be shown degrading his former teammates Nick Dowd and Garnet Hathaway as well. Once the comments went viral, the Washington Capitals were quick to make a statement on the issue, saying, "We are aware of the unacceptable and offensive comments made by Brendan Leipsic in a private conversation on social media. We will handle this matter internally." And that they did. Despite his attempt at an apology online, Leipsic was shown the door. As a couple days after the incident came to light, the Capitals decided to place the forward on unconditional waivers before terminating his contract entirely. Following the ordeal, Leipsic has decided to take his talents overseas and is currently playing in the KHL. Speaking of the KHL, back when the Russian Super League still reigned supreme overseas, it became the outlet that Slava Voynov used in order to showcase his talents. And after being noticed by the Los Angeles Kings, Voynov was drafted 32nd overall by the club in 2008. From there, the defenseman immediately went to work for the Kings' AHL affiliate, the Manchester Monarchs, but was able to earn a call-up just in time to represent the Kings during their 2011-2012 season, shortly before their postseason run that earned them their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. With a Stanley Cup ring in hand, Voynov quickly became a staple on the Kings' blue line and was able to capture yet another cup with the club in 2014. But the party quickly came to a screeching halt in October later that year, as Voynov was suspended indefinitely by the league due to pending charges of domestic abuse against his wife, Marta Varlamova. But Voynov wasn't the only one feeling the NHL's wrath, as the Kings, in an attempt to circumvent the league's ruling, invited the defenseman to team practices. The club, in turn, was met with a $100,000 fine for their actions. While under investigation, Voynov continued to receive full salary, despite only dressing for 6 games during the 2014-15 season. In July of 2015, Voynov pleaded no contest to a reduced misdemeanor charge. Following this sentencing and 3 months in detention, Voynov returned to Russia and began playing in the KHL, but is currently an unrestricted free agent. And the most recent incident on this list to come about was the one that involved Arizona Coyotes' former draftee, Mitchell Miller. Miller, who grew up in Ohio, later honed his craft while playing for the well-renowned Honey Baked program, followed by the USHL. According to the defenseman, his strengths were in his skating ability and his talent for setting up teammates. Things for Miller last September were looking bright, as he was taken in the 4th round, 111th overall by the Arizona Coyotes in this year's draft, and was projected to be representing the University of North Dakota during his freshman year. However, Miller's future hockey career was quickly met with adversity following an article being published by the Arizona Republic. The article entails Miller's troubled past and goes on to describe the horrific events that Miller's former classmate Isaiah Meyer-Crothers endured at the hands of the Coyotes' former pick. The teen, who is developmentally disabled, claims that Miller bullied him for years. The defenseman was even sentenced to community service, by Ohio's juvenile court for his actions against Meyer Crothers. Possibly even more shocking, though, was the fact that the Arizona Coyotes and the University of North Dakota claimed to have known about the incidents prior to allowing Miller to represent their teams. Despite this, though, some teams reportedly felt differently. According to TSN insider Frank Cervelli, at least 1/3 of all NHL teams had already scratched Miller from their list prior to the draft commencing. But a few days after the Arizona Republic's article was released, the Coyotes followed suit by renouncing their rights to their former 4th-round pick. Not long after, the University of North Dakota released a statement in part saying Miller would no longer be allowed to continue his hockey career with the team, but could attend the university only as a student.